In the third episode of the show, we saw Talos going for a parley meeting with Gravik, which ended with Talos threatening to kill Gravik if he uttered Gia's name. Nick Fury suspected that Priscilla was working with the Skrulls to take over Earth, but Priscilla assured him that she wasn't, even though we saw her plotting with Rhodes, a Skrull, who was speaking on Gravik's behalf. Fury and Talos learned through Gia that the rebel Skrulls were trying to obliterate a plane carrying a UN delegation. So, their mission became all about stopping that from happening. That said, the attack turned out to be a mole hunt being conducted by Gravik, and when he found out that Gia was that mole, he shot her down. But Gia is not dead. Gia did some of that sci-fi mumbo-jumbo in the machine that's available in New Skrullos and made herself invincible. We get a conversation between Fury and Priscilla right after the Battle of New York, where they bond over poetry and their love for each other. In the present day, we see Priscilla apparently plotting with Rhodes to kill off Fury. This moment is supposed to make our hearts ache because it shows how the circumstances have killed Fury and Priscilla's bond. Meanwhile, Gravik and his men head over to conduct a mission while pretending to be Russians. Talos and Gia have a conversation about their next move. When Talos starts to talk about his plan to convince the president to let all the Skrulls live on Earth by showing humans that they aren't harmful creatures, Gia gets angry because she thinks it's cowardice. Because once you show them that you're ready to be subservient, there's no end to the oppression. Priscilla returns home only to find that Fury is already there. Fury knows that Priscilla is working for Gravik and Rhodes. So, after pulling out their guns, Fury asks Priscilla about the person whose skin she's wearing. She says that the woman was a doctor suffering from a heart defect, and she was on her deathbed. And after they became quite close, she asked the doctor if she could assume her identity. The doctor had 3 conditions, though. 1, Vera had to bury her in the sea. 2, she had to look after the doctor's parents. 3, Vera wouldn't hurt Fury. With that out of the way, Fury and Priscilla recite the poem she was reading back in 2012 and then shoot at each other. Fury shoots at the wall behind Priscilla, and Priscilla shoots at the bookshelf behind Fury. Fury mentions that the Skrulls who are planning to take over the Earth will come for Priscilla. Priscilla asks a version of the "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" question as she wonders if Fury would have loved her if she was in her own Skrull skin, and Fury gives a non-answer. He goes for Rhodes next, who is revealed to be a female Skrull. Fury wants Rhodes to let him work as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. Rhodes says that won't be possible because there's videographic proof of him shooting Hill. Fury probably knew that was going to be his answer. So, he focuses on selling Rhodes his ancestral alcohol, which is actually laced with tracking devices. Fury doesn't hide that fact, but Rhodes apparently doesn't buy it and unknowingly gets marked with Fury's nanotech. President Ritson arrives in England for a meeting with the Russians, and Rhodes briefs him on how he should behave with them. Going by Rhodes' erratic behavior, Ritson realizes that Rhodes is drunk and tells his assistant to get him some coffee so that he can sober up. On the way, the president's convoy is attacked by Gravik. Talos and Fury, who have been following Rhodes via the liquid tracker, reach the spot and try to rescue Ritson. Gravik's plan is to kidnap Ritson and use him as leverage to get control over Earth, and Fury and Talos have to ensure that doesn't happen because that'll just lead to an all-out war. Gravik shows off his Groot powers as well as his extremist powers. Talos tries to get Ritson out of his upturned car but is shot in the process, which forces him to change into his Skrull form. This freaks everyone out, but Fury assures them that Talos is friendly. Fury secures Ritson, while Gravik gets to Talos, stabs him brutally, and then escapes. Since the president's security is at stake, Fury leaves Talos to bleed out on the street. This should be a turning point for everyone, to be honest. Fury has proven that he is a government employee through. He has shown that he doesn't care if his friends live or die until and unless the President of America is okay. If anyone has seen what Talos did, that should convince them that there are Skrulls who are willing to coexist with humans. If Talos is alive, he's probably going to realize that the effort to create any kind of goodwill with humans is pointless. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and I hope you enjoyed episode 4 of Secret Invasion. We will meet in the next video.